You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach Show. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show. I'm Patricia, and I'm here with my husband, Jason. Today, we're talking about the business of artists and creatives, part 2. Over the years, we have worked with many musicians, artists, and creative people. Stay tuned for some real help to run your business. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, what is the thing that most artists and creative get mixed up?
Artists express their uniqueness, their talents, and some would say their soul in their work.
Okay.
But what they get mixed up is the difference between expression and healing. Many artists try to heal themselves with the expression versus healing directly. Now, to be fair, most people are unconscious about their motivations anyways. And as far as artists concerned, they don't understand what they're that need to express, whether that's to heal or whether that's to express. And they get compulsive about that expression of their craft. Now, when we say artists, I just have to make a note. We're talking about any sort of creative, musicians, visual artists, writers, craft people, and any other thing that you can think of. There's all sorts of them, and we don't want to put a limit on that, but we just say artists because it's easier to say, and it's smaller words. So when I write out the outline, it makes it easier.
Okay.
But when I say artists, I mean everybody.
Okay. And you know, this just popped in. Van Gogh, you know, he cut off his ear and sent it to, I guess it was his girlfriend or something. I don't remember exactly the story. But, you know, you always think of him as being tortured, so to speak. He was tortured within himself. And what we're talking about here, when we're talking about expression, he was expressing himself by cutting off his ear. But he was also extraordinarily talented.
Well, and we have to say, because we've created this ecosystem approach, which is all about the healing of your essence or your soul directly. Okay. So it's not widely known if you have a tortured soul that you can heal it. But here we are, we're raising our hand, everyone. If you have, if we know that everyone needs to heal their essence, heal their soul. But that's very different than expression.
Well,
and if you don't get those two confused, the possibilities for your art is amazing.
Whatever your art may be. In fact, I'm glad you brought up that point, Jason, because when you use the ecosystem approach, what happens is that then you start to see the defining line, and you use the ecosystem approach to start healing yourself. And believe it or not, this talent will roar up. And I can say from personal experience, you can't stop it.
When you think of when you think the expression and healing are put together, it's like being in a cell. It's being like confined. It's being limited in a way that is almost evil if you're an artist, because it wants to come out. But if you can start to separate those two, OMG, the possibilities for your expression,
right,
is tenfold, is 100-fold, because then you're focused on the healing in a separate space. And of course, we do that every single time that you tune in to the Ecosystem Approach Show, like you are today, and we're helping you heal your essence. We do clearings at the end. We're talking to you about how this applies to energy in your life in all different segments of your life. But if you can start healing your essence directly and then allow that expression to come forth in its own separate lane, it's amazing. And we want to say to every artist that's out there now that's listening, this is the best thing you can do for your art.
Right. And not only for yourself, but also the essence that is your soul.
I remember I had a client who thought, and he actually said this to me, don't you have to have a tortured soul to be a good writer? He was a writer in this case, but no, and there are examples of artists who struggled emotionally, but it's not related. We've heard of Hemingway, who was an alcoholic, but being an alcoholic didn't make him great. That's how he coped with his torturedicity of his soul.
If that could be a word.
Yes, I'm making words, but it didn't help his writing. In fact, it hurt his writing. Right. And we get we conflate the two, and we get them all mixed up.
It's true. Well, okay. So let's step into really what we're trying to get to today is the business of being an artist and creative.
The business of art is not about talent. It's about the game of business. And for somebody, I'm sure this is very disappointing. If you've ever had the notion that the cream rises to the top, no, nada. Okay. Yet that does not happen. The cream never rises to the top because, for the most part, a lot of the audience even can't tell who's talented and who's not.
Right.
What they respond to is not talent; they respond to energy. But I'm changing the subject here a little bit. We'll talk about that some more.
Okay.
But
good.
What the business of art is a game, and it's not about promoting the best artist. It's about making the most money. And we had one of our listeners submitted a question, and we're going to talk about that in the next segment. But she asked about this specifically, and we're going to talk about that. So, here's the other thing. Many of our people we've talked to over the years, they struggle to understand whether they should do their art full time or not. And there's no formula for this. There's no right answer, any of that. But here's what we do know: self-insight and self-awareness helps you understand the current market that you're in, the game that you may have to play or not to be able to sustain yourself full time. And there's nothing wrong with having that side job, because if you're healing your essence, if you're working on your own self-awareness, that makes everything feel better. And then being more pure about your expression in art, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But it doesn't have to be, and it's a process. You may do that side job for 10, 15 years and say, no, now I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the expression.
Well, and the other thing is that a lot of people believe that they have to be able to understand. I can't be an artist. I can't show my talents because I don't understand the business aspect. And therefore, first thing that they do is that makes they feel like they're stupid. And then I've seen so many people give up on that. And the bottom line is that, first off, an artist, not stupid at all, just doesn't have doesn't have the understanding of how to connect and then understand the game of business.
When you have self-awareness, you can partner with the right partners to help you, but you need the self-awareness. You have to avoid the sharks, to avoid the misconceptions. It's sort of like finding a mate. It's the same process. You have to have self-awareness to find the right mate.
And what we've been talking about for months now is when you know your story.
Yes.
When you know your story and you start clearing the negative energies out of that, so that you're not stuck in those things. Wow, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So, key points is that we needed. Okay, sorry. Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
The biggest misconception. The biggest misconception is that healing and expression of art are different.
Okay.
It is better to heal so the expression of your art is better and more authentic to who you are.
Okay.
Talent does not rise to the top. The business of art is a game, and it's necessary to play for success some way or another. And the ecosystem approach teaches you to heal yourself so that your expression of your talent is more authentic and in line with who you are naturally.
If you're a creative person, whether an artist, musician, writer, craftsperson, etc., how do you learn how to self-promote and actually be successful? We received this question from a listener, and we'll answer this question in the next segment. Stay tuned. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
What would you do with the power of community? How do you create your own rituals? Tune in to Living Your Gifts with me, Susan Huff, Ancient Applications for Modern Times, the second Wednesday of each month on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Our lives begin with the stories we are told and the stories we tell ourselves. Storytelling is the key. To learn more about me, visit livingyourgifts.com. That's livingyourgifts.com.
The Knowledge Book, currently studied in 39 countries and 15 languages around the world, accelerates our evolution, takes us out of depression, offers universal truths, protects us, and makes us stronger, both spiritually and physically. So if you are interested in the Knowledge Book, visit usa.theknowledgebook.net and tune in to the Knowledge Book Radio with Marge Potasic on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Coming to you live on TransformationTalkRadio.com is the Brilliance Ultimatum. Time's Up with Claudette Rowley. Powerful conversations, practical innovations, and transformative solutions as Claudette and her guests delve into the possibilities and what she calls reality resistance. Join the cultural revolution and annihilate obstacles. Check it out at culturalbrilliance.com.
We remember a time when you could simply form a thought and it would manifest. The harmony was forgotten, but it is returning now. The Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Julia Griffin on TransformationTalkRadio.com each second and fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific will take you on adventures through the heart and spirit, exploring who we once were. This intuitive healer studied under the guidance of wolves, learning from their wisdom to master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Visit OneTrueSelf.com.
How do you feel? Just okay? Well, how about you tune in and get ready to be more with the Healing Hour with me, Doc Martin, every third Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. I'm ready for your questions, and I can't wait to help you find the answers. Every month we'll have a new live call-in show with innovative topics and a powerful hour of healing. To learn more about me, visit DrSharonMartin.com. See you there. I'm going to be here. You won't want to miss it.
We remember a time when you could simply form a thought and it would manifest. The harmony was forgotten, but it is returning now. The Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Julia Griffin on TransformationTalkRadio.com each second and fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific will take you on adventures through the heart and spirit, exploring who we once were. This intuitive healer studied under the guidance of wolves, learning from their wisdom to master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Visit OneTrueSelf.com.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. In this segment, we're going to answer the question, if you're a creative person, whether an artist, musician, writer, craftsperson, etc., how do you learn how to self-promote and actually be successful? We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, I'm going to repeat the question. We received this question from a listener about self-promotion and being successful, but she goes on to say, quote, looking at the music industry, it is so cutthroat, and the artists making the big bucks are usually promoted by record labels that more often than not don't have a true love of music. How does the little guy find their place to thrive? Unquote.
So these are actually two major questions, and we'll take them one at a time.
Okay.
The first one is self-promotion.
Okay.
Self-promotion comes from self-awareness, and sometimes it's specific personality types. So in other words, you can have a specific personality type that naturally self-promotes, but doesn't have self-awareness. So I just want to say that, okay? But many very talented people, and some of the most talented, don't have the personality for self-promotion. And that's okay. But if you don't have the right personality, you can get help, partner, but that also requires a form of self-awareness, because you don't want to partner with the sharks or whatever. You know, and I remember a client who hired a manager who was well-known, kind of a shark in the business. But what was missing in that whole idea was he wanted him to go out there and be a shark on his behalf as a musician. But he also didn't realize he had to be a kind of a shark to get the shark's attention.
Okay.
You know,
I get it.
A shark is usually a shark everywhere. So it's sharks can be out there in the world trying to get attention from his client, but they can also be kind of negative toward the person who hires them. So just something to be aware of.
Okay.
Again, self-awareness is the answer to that, self-knowledge.
Okay.
So, self-awareness and self-knowledge comes primarily from the ecosystem approach.
Yes.
In order to choose a partner or implement a partnership, it requires a lot of self-knowledge. In order to see the sharks and deal with them, it takes self-knowledge and confidence.
And there's one other thing I want to add here. It also requires that you understand what a salesman is and what and how you deal with the salesman.
Yes.
It's a really big deal.
I had a client who built a business who had a personality for self-promotion, and she was a world famous jewelry designer, but it was her lack of self-awareness that was her downfall. She couldn't adapt to the market, and there were a lot of cutthroat stealing of her designs that she wasn't able to overcome.
Yeah.
She recently passed away, and we were in contact till the end, and it was very sad to me. But
she was an amazing artist.
Yeah, she
everyone.
was
Truly.
and I think about her often. But I see that there was a rigidity that we were starting to get to, but she wasn't able to overcome at the time that when she wanted to for on her own behalf.
Yeah. Yes.
So there is an organic. So here's the second question. Okay, how do you self-promote? So one is about dealing with the sharks, which we talked about. You need self-awareness, and the other one is, well, how can the little guy find a place to thrive?
Right.
Well, here's my suggestion. There's an organic way to build a creative business, and the way you do that is kind of start small and build an audience and keep a following and keep building. And so you do that with clearing. You clear your way so that what you have to offer just kind of feels good. It feels good to the person who's receiving it. Now, whether that's visual art, musical art, writing, sculpture, crafts, whatever it is, if there's a good feel to whatever you create, you can get people that really like it. And then you can clear so they'll tell their friends. And that you can clear so then their friends will tell their friends and tell their friends. And just like with anything else, you can build organically an audience. Constantly, consistently, and specifically clearing yourself and your creative business helps create that organic business.
Right. And we're even going to do a little bit of that later, aren't we?
Yes, we're going to do some clearing for that.
Right.
So self-awareness, you can also know the energy of how to package your talent in a way that connects to your audience. And if you separate your healing process from your expression, it'll make that art that you create so much more attractive. Tortured artists don't create happy, attractive energy in their art. Sometimes, it connects to an audience that are also brooding. We can see that in our politics. That aggrieved people like to get with other aggrieved people, but and it's up to you. It's not up to me to determine what kind of energy you package your art with. But that, for the most part, I find that natural positive energy, and positive energy is very nebulous and very black and white. It's energy has a whole rainbow of feels to it.
Right.
There's no limit to the subtleties. It's like a symphony versus a solo artist. There's huge differences and variations. But if you can craft this right combination of energy for your art, and that is authentic to you, and you connect with an audience, you can build that audience 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3,
right,
and keep going.
Okay.
And frankly, I think it's the best way for the little guy to find a place and to thrive. And you may have to do that part-time in the beginning and then just build it over time.
Okay.
We know that self-awareness takes time. You don't flick a switch.
Right.
And that attractive energy around your creation, and we didn't even talk about this, but
okay.
Patricia's been learning singing and the guitar, and I know she hears the negative notes and the ones that just aren't quite right,
and the swear words come out
yes.
really loud sometimes. Yes.
But I always thought that if I was on my deathbed, I would want her to sing to me. And it's something. There's an energy about what she does that makes me feel really good. Of course, I'm married to her. I love her. She's my wife. So of course I would feel it. Well, I shouldn't say of course. There's a lot of people that are married that don't feel that way about their spouses. But that good energy is just so delicious.
Well,
it feels so good.
I'm going to make another comment, and I'm going to add to it, and it might sound like I'm bragging, but I'm not. Jason's mother lives with us, and she is, legally deaf. She has a cochlear implant, and I've danced all of my life, and I will oftentimes, like after dinner, like when we're doing the dishes, that kind of thing, there's always music going on in our house. Always. There's never a time there that it isn't. And I will dance around the living room. And before she came to live with us, I said to Jason, am I going to have to stop doing this? And he goes, don't you dare. She will love it. Well, sure enough, she does. And there are times where I can tell she's just, she's 90 years old and she's struggling with life a little bit, and especially with COVID being out there and we've kept her isolated. She loves when I dance and also sing at the same time. She loves it.
And even if she can't hear it, the takeaway is it's the energy.
Yes, that was it.
It's the energy that she connects with. And if you can get that energy into your artistic creations,
yes,
that's the key. And okay, so it doesn't happen overnight. Maybe it won't happen tomorrow, but keep at it. Keep going.
Well, and I want to say one more thing. When I was younger, my father used to say to me, sit down and shut up, because I was always singing and dancing, even as a kid. And it drove him absolutely crazy. So it created this, I'm not good enough.
Here's the other part. When you crack the whip or you push yourself and force yourself,
good one.
Maybe you have a certain amount of time for the studio and you have to get it right. Mm-hmm. I gotta get it right.
But we found that clearing really helps that.
But that cracking the whip on yourself or on the people around you,
right,
does not help the energy of your creation.
Exactly.
But instead of forcing yourself to be happy, which doesn't work either, clear it. That's all you have to do.
Exactly.
If I was an artist, I would be clearing myself a bazillion times a day.
Well, he's not an artist, or not the same kind as many of us are, but he does clear bazillion times a day, and it really works. People just love him. So, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Self-awareness is really self-knowledge, but it takes time to develop. Self-awareness helps you see the sharks and the players in a way that is absolutely necessary. Building a creative business organically works well using the energy to clear it and grow it.
Mm-hmm.
And the ecosystem approach teaches self-knowledge and an understanding of energy to connect with your clients.
Okay. I want to make one comment. We didn't cover this, but when you use the ecosystem approach and you're dealing with the sharks out there and the players and all of those things, what happens is that you're capable of dealing with the energies a whole lot easier, and you become self-aware, so you're not being walked all over or taken advantage of.
Yes.
Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to answer the question, what energy techniques can you use to really help your talent and your business as an artist? This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Are you ready to put down that drink or drug for good? Are you struggling to maintain your recovery from addictive behaviors? Do you need help with a family member or loved one who's in early recovery or battling addiction? Get the help and guidance you need by arranging a Recovery Recharged phone session with me, Ellen Stewart, Pushy Broad from the Bronx, certified life and recovery coach. Call 1-800-889-1757. Make an appointment today or go to my website, pushybroadfromthebronx.com, and click on the link that says Recovery Recharged. Don't wait. Get the help you need today. This is Ellen Stewart, Pushy Broad from the Bronx, on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Yeah, yippee skippy to that, baby. We're not done yet. Some of us are out here to educate and inspire. This year, 2020, is the year we gotta show me the money in the cash flow. I'm Dr. Pat. This is the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By.
Visit thedrpatshow.com.
The vibration of change, that magical place where life shifts from struggle to ease, from stagnation to forward movement, from old ways of being to new ways of becoming. If you're like I am, it can be rather elusive to get there, but when you are in it, you feel it down to your very core, don't you? And it can positively affect everything in your life, from your relationships to your health and well-being, from your career path to your abundance, from the quality of that inner connection to the fullness of your self-expression. On the Christine Upchurch Show, we explore ways to get into that vibration of change with experts in the fields of consciousness, psychology, spirituality, health, healing, and science. Join me, Christine Upchurch, every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on KKNW AM 1150 and Transformation Talk Radio, and learn new ways to step into your vibration of change.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. In this segment, we're going to answer the question, what energy techniques can you use to really help your talent and your business as an artist? We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, I really want to know the energy techniques you're going to suggest for artists and creatives.
here's the first important part to understand about that. When you create a work of art, it has an energy. This energy can attract buyers and recognition, or it can do the opposite. It can repel buyers or listeners or
True.
Whatever your art is. Okay.
Okay.
And the energy of your works of art are relevant and important. So you can clear to make them better and more appropriate. When you paint a work, when you create a song, when you perform someone else's music, it always has an energy.
True.
Even if you're, and this exposes me a little bit, but even if you're performing show tunes at a
in a bar.
Yeah, in a bar, like Billy Joel,
the Piano Man. Yes.
Yeah, Piano Man. Your energy connects with the music.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
So the guy who's performing, even though the songs are familiar, if he's having a bad day, if he's divorcing his wife, it shows.
Yeah, it
does. And even though people may not be able to put their finger on it. So how do you know the energy of your work? Well, the answer is refined intuition. And that comes from the constant application of the ecosystem approach. Now, most of us have intuition, but it's not refined, and it can be really subject to a lot of bad information.
Okay.
But if you don't know the energy of your piece of artwork, just clear the negative energy. And this comes from knowing, having self-knowledge and knowing your Enneagram type and clearing a lot for your type. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
If you're a 6 and you're creating music, I guarantee you unworthiness, it's not good enough, shame, all those things are part of your Enneagram type, and I guarantee you they get into whatever you create. A 9 also has shame, but this idea that I don't want to rock the boat. Maybe their art expression is restrained, and that restraint could come out as an energy.
Yeah.
If you're a 3, maybe it's too loud. If you're a 4, maybe it's even louder than that. Maybe you have to turn it down a little bit. So you get that. It's not appropriate for us to talk about all those things now, but
well, wait a minute. Yes, it is, Jason. Just go. What's an 8? An 8 will do what?
It'll force and bully.
Okay.
So usually, those types of art are bold. They're probably bigger than they should be. If you're going to do a statue that's 3 feet tall, then you're going to do a statue that's 10 feet tall.
Okay.
It's
what about a 7?
A 7 has maybe 10 different melody lines.
All in one song.
And yes, and maybe the whole point of the song got lost in all the different different directions that they went off on. So it all depends, and your story better than anybody else, but those are just kind of some hints.
Well, and here's the hard part. I just need to back this up for just a moment. Here's the hard part. We all know our story. We most of us have memories of our lives, and not everything by any means at all, but it's use the ecosystem approach to start figuring out what is holding you hostage there. What is keeping you stuck? What is keeping you stuck in fear or terror or lack of confidence, or thinking that if you just get out there and you're so loud that everybody will just pay attention to you when it's not appropriate at all?
So people are on the edge of the seat. They want the energetic technique.
All right.
So here it is. Okay.
All right.
And it's not really just one. It's you can use this in 50 different ways all the time.
Okay.
But here's what we do. Okay. Create an avatar for your audience. So let's say you want.
Oh, wait a minute. Stop. What is an avatar?
An avatar is a representation that looks like a person. They use it in gaming, where you have a visual figure that performs the game on your behalf.
Yes.
If you create an avatar for your audience, whether it's visual art, whether you're a writer, whether you're a musician, doesn't matter. So let's say you to try and determine who your audience is. You're trying to grow your business organically.
Right.
create an avatar for your ideal audience member. And that avatar might look kind of like you. It might be very similar to you. If you're shy and sensitive, maybe your avatar is shy and sensitive. Maybe you're bold and brash. Maybe your avatar is bold and brash. Whatever it is, you determine what your audience is. And again, if you don't know, use clearing, use refined intuition, use the ecosystem approach. You'll figure it out.
There you go.
And then start to create a relationship in your mind with this avatar, and build that relationship by clearing, just like you would a relationship with a real person. So, when you, it's no different than really a relationship with a real person. So, you create this avatar, you perform a song, and say, I'm just thinking of a musician, and then you ask your avatar,
what
do you
did
think?
you see? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And now again, if you don't have that refined intuition, it might be just blank. There's nothing there. That's okay.
Right.
Keep clearing. But some people, that avatar will start to talk to them and say, oh, it was a little too loud for me, or, oh, it was okay, but I don't think it was that great. Now,
or you wore your heart on your sleeve and you forgot to put it away.
Yes. That can be really helpful. Now,
yes.
We also have this negative voice usually in our head that comes from dark energy attached to our essence. Mm-hmm. So that dark energy can talk through the avatar also. So just be careful of that. That's just a kind of a hint,
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So and just like with any relationship, it takes time.
Okay.
But build it up. So you start with a few audience members, and you build that up, and you build that up, and you keep working on clearing that relationship with your avatar, and you talk to it. You have a better relationship, and you can partner with it better, and you get better information, you get better feedback, and you use that feedback. It develops over time, and it's not something that happens in a week. It's something that happens over months and years, and even decades. But it can be really powerful,
right?
And really, it's one of the best ways you can best techniques you can use to build your business. This is an energy technique. Mm-hmm. And by the way, this sets you apart from everybody else in the business, quote unquote, of art. They don't use energy. No one's going to say, "Oh yeah, go clear your." You're going to do this show at a museum or a art gallery. They don't say, "Oh, let's clear your artwork before you put it up there."
Well, wait a minute. They should, because one of the things that we've seen is when we do things like that, you actually get a better price. And people start talking about the amazing art that you have created.
So if you're using energy constantly, consistently, and specifically, OMG.
And by the way, start today.
That's an advantage that is huge.
Exactly.
Exactly. And if this resonates with you, if you're listening right now and you say, "Oh my gosh, I got to do this," the way to do it is, first of all, listen to our show every week. Yeah. Even if it doesn't have to do with art, it will help you in terms of healing your essence and that relationship and refining your intuition.
One of the things about the ecosystem approach is that we are very, very, very practical.
Yes.
And it really makes a huge difference. So, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
All works of art have an energy connected to the creator or the creators of it. So if there's a band, it's all your energies together.
Right.
This energy of art has the ability to attract or repel and have a feel that many can relate to or not.
Okay.
The ecosystem approach teaches you energy techniques to work with the energy of your art.
Okay.
And the ecosystem approach teaches you to help create authentic energy for your works to grow organically in the world.
Okay. So in the next segment, we're going to do a lot of some clearing. And so, Jason, let's tell everybody how to do that.
You can sit in any posture that you want. It's important to set your intention to help not only yourself, but someone else. And if what we say doesn't apply to you or you don't think it applies to you, you can clear it in ways that won't hurt you.
Exactly.
So when we say and to eliminate, gather up those things and take a gentle breath and blow it into an actual trash can. Create an imaginary trash can in your mind. Go to our website and look for the processor, and that gives you an image of what you should be thinking about when you're clearing.
Yes.
And you can print that out and put it on your desk if you want. And it's that simple. And then we go on to the next emotion.
Okay.
Or veils and illusions, whatever it is that we say to clear.
Okay, and then after that, we're going to activate life force energy, which of course is the most powerful energy that any of us has access to. And we're going to pull it in through the top of our head. We're going to let it go all the way down our torso and our arms. Let it go all the way to the tips of our toes. We're going to stop it right there. We're going to turn it around. We're going to use our breath, and we're going to blow out any negative energy that's left over, because we all know there's enough negative energy everywhere, not only in us, but in the entire world. So with that said, stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to do some clearings to help you to help your creative works of art, whatever that may be, to become successful and get noticed and get attention. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Kimberly Carlson, and I would love for you to tune in to All In Healing Radio, where together we will begin to experience health, happiness, and harmony in all areas and aspects of life. Join us every first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. on TransformationTalkRadio.com. All In Healing will help you release layers of negative beliefs and energies for radiant health, deep joy, and greater abundance. Visit me at KimberlyCarlson.com.
Are you your story? Or can you change your story? Can you change what you believe to be true about yourself and your circumstances as part of your healing journey? What if you were to change your expectations? What if you were to invite ease and cooperation into every day and then step back and see what happens? It might just be easier. I'm Megan Edge, and I hope that you'll join me on my new radio show, Playing on the Edge, Radical Change with Ease, with my co-host Dr. Pat on Transformation Talk Radio. I look forward to seeing you there.
Want to find out more about Megan Edge? Visit her website at meganedge.ca.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Hey, how's it going? If it's stressful or just plain exhausting, New Light Living is here to ask, is this the way you want to live? Join me, your intuitive spiritual life coach and host, Ulrika Sullivan, every week on New Light Living. Discover the power of creative tools to start living every day as your ideal dream day. See your life in the new light. To learn more, visit newlightliving.com.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. In this segment, we're going to do some clearings to help your creative works to become more successful and get noticed and get that attention that you want your art to have and for you to have. So, Jason, you ready?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Rock and roll. Here we go.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that my feelings are always attached to my works of art. Mm-hmm. Gather up those veils and illusions.
Take a breath.
And blow it into that trash can or that processor.
And to eliminate the anger, hate, rage, and bitterness that I have, that marketing and self-promotion is so hard. Everyone, Take this one from the tips of your toes all the way up and blow it out. I have to add to that and to eliminate the resentment that I have to work harder at promoting than I do at actually doing the art that I love. I release and let go this resentment. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate my fears and anxieties about the business of art that keeps me in confusion and doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Take a breath, gather up those fears and anxieties, blow it into the processor.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see the energy attached to my works of art, and clear any negative energies that it's there. Take a breath. Remember, if you start doing that today, blow out any negative energy. Remember, if you start doing that today, you will soon be able to see the negative energies that are connected to your art, whatever that art is.
And to eliminate the barriers to harmony and peace within myself, so I can project that on my art if I want to. Gather up those barriers and blow them into the processor. And oh, by the way, that picture of the processor was Patricia's art. And she did this a long time ago. I know she's dying to do it over again because it wasn't quite perfect, because she's a perfectionist. But go look at it because it feels really good.
Well, and I do want to say it was only the fifth piece of watercolor I had ever done.
So
that's kind of interesting.
And we're going to tell you where you can go look at that
yes,
in just a minute here. So, and to eliminate the barriers so everyone can see the positive energy that I have attached to my art.
Oh, yeah. Now you can see it when you go look at the processor. Take a breath, everyone. Okay. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so my art can reflect life force and attract interested clients. Take a breath. That one, by the way, is huge, everyone.
And to eliminate the false belief that I have to push and drive myself for the best art business
solutions.
That I have to push myself and drive myself to be successful in the business of art.
Okay.
Take a breath.
And to eliminate any resentment and hopelessness I have about my ability to market my art effectively. Take a breath.
And to eliminate any anger I have about the system of promotion and success in art.
Mm-hmm.
Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barrier so I can see with self-knowledge, I can create my own success with my art. Take a breath. And to eliminate all the negative energy attached to my art and my promotion activities. Take a breath.
And to eliminate all the frustration, angst, anxiety that I have that gets attached to my work when I'm creating my work. Gather that all up and blow it into that processor. So should we do Life Force?
We should do Life Force. Here we go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate Life Force, creative energy right now, today. Take a breath. Let that go right in through the top of your head, down your torso, your arms, and all the way to the tips of your toes. Turn it around and blow out any negative energy that's in your way.
And to activate Life Force so I can trust that I can influence the energy around my art in a way that is authentic to me and reflects my essence.
Nice.
Take a breath.
Take a breath. All the way through your entire body, and then blow out any negative energy. And to activate Life Force so I can have the determination to keep clearing, to bring about the art ecosystem I want. Now that's a huge concept, Jason. the art ecosystem that's in my highest and best interest. Take a breath. And to activate life force so I can be happy and healthy and creative and have fun and laugh and love myself, love what I do, and love others and enjoy everyday living and be able to be the artist that I came here to be. Nice and easy. Take a breath. Pull it in through the top of your head. Nice and easy, all the way to the tips of your toes. Oh, and activate peace and harmony all the while. Now blow out any negative energy left over. So, Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
We're going to talk about the business of career professionals. So this is in our business section. And when you have a career, you have a business of one. Even if you're working for someone, you have a business of one. And chances are you won't go cradle to grave with the same company.
Well,
and even if you do, one of your most difficult challenges, and we've heard this over and over and over again, is office politics. We're going to take that head on. You'll love this show.
Well, I was going to say this is going to be quite a interesting show because it's going to be rather informative, especially from our perspective.
Yes.
All right. So, Jason, how can I get more information and real support from the ecosystem approach?
I know there's someone out there right now that is an artist and saying, "Oh my gosh, I've got to do this. This is for me." And maybe even if it's not, if you're listening and you're saying, "Well, I'm not in the business of art right now," you may know someone. You may have a friend or a son or daughter or someone that you know that's close to you. Tell them about this show. Tell them to listen. And the way to implement the things that we're talking about today is to listen every week. Sign up. Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and there's a free subscription area there. Sign up for that, and you'll get our newsletter every week, which gives you the backstory. It's every week we have a little bit of about this topic, whatever we're talking about that week. And we have clearings, and if you keep doing those clearings, no matter whether it applies to you directly or not, if you keep doing those clearings, that's when you have refined intuition. That's when you have self-awareness and self-knowledge. It's amazing. And so go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up right now.
Okay. Listen to our show every week and do the clearings at the end. Our show is every week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern. If you can't listen at that time, our show is recorded. If you go to our new website, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for our free section, you can really enjoy and really get great benefits out of what we do.
And if you're a Facebook person, we have a Facebook page, theecosystemapproach.org, and go there and like us. And you have a question, you can put it there. If you have a comment or a question about today's show, you can go to hello. Our email address is hello@theecosystemapproach.org. So send us a note.
Is that all one word, Jason?
It's an email address.
It's an email address.
Hello at the ecosystem.
Hello.
Yes. So,
and by the way, please, everyone, go like us on our Facebook page because, I don't really like to hear him whine because he just gets so upset, with that sort of thing. So we'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.